Hey, good morning. Good morning. Hey, let's start off with, wow, like I'm all jazzed up. All right, just quickly, did you guys see Paul McCartney in Karaoke Cab? If you haven't, look it up on YouTube. So good. So good. Okay. Let's take a moment, breathe, and let's bring in the protection and say a prayer to start. Dearest Holy Spirits, north, south, east, and west, I ask each of you to hold those points sacred and safe for us today, so that nothing that is dark or remotely difficult for us to deal with, within or outside of us, stay away so that we can 100% receive the vibrations, the words, the frequencies that will come through me as you use me as your divine channel today, as your vessel, to bring forward in the highest good all each and every one of us may need, and may we each hear and receive only that which we need in the highest good. Father Sky, Mother Earth, hold us safe and bring inspiration forward on this day. Aho. Aho. So, it is good for us to be here. Yeah, let's all say that together, because that's kind of a Native American thing. It is good for us to be here. And Johnny and I did not collaborate. I had no idea that he was going to steal my stuff. He always does that. You guys notice? Now, isn't that so? Exactly, though, exactly where I'm going. We are so connected that when it's time for me to have a talk title, it always hits me by surprise, like, oh, I don't know what's going to come in 2 weeks. Like, I have no idea, right? So I'll close my eyes for a minute, and I'll just say a quick prayer, and something will come. And then I always cringe, like, oh, I don't know what that means, what that's going to be, but okay. We are here. Testimony that we are all one. In the ancient Hawaiian kahuna practice, which is the medicine people of Hawaii, they say that we hear 15 million voices a second on this earth plane. That whatever we are stuck with, if you will, those 15 million voices every second are also stuck with. The moment we are in our stillness, in our knowing of being here, those 15 million voices can be unstuck. Think about that. It's pretty remarkable. You know, we always talk about being one. Well, I think this is evidence. I haven't seen or talked to John Van Deelen in at least a month. But it was important that these two talks be back to back. Why? I don't know. But clearly, to the detail of it being about, I am here, we are here, and what does that represent? But now coming today from a different perspective, actually the same, right? That is the beauty of being in unity, but when we are in clutter, that can't be. So taking another step, today, one of the things that I hold so dear, and those of you that know me know that this is true, the many different religions, the ancient religions, how that brings forward in science, and what does that mean, and how do we sit in that, is something that gets me all geeked up. You know, I get super excited about that. So last week in Judaism was Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, the day that we atone for the sins of our ancestors and ourselves. We are currently in the middle of what's called in the Hindu tradition, Mahalaya. Mahalaya is 15 days where the ancestors come closest to the earth plane to receive blessings from us so that they can reach higher planes, and in return, they bless us. Notice that connection. Isn't that beautiful? My mother's here. She's rarely here. She was in South Carolina during Mahalaya when I'm doing a talk about these things. Is that a little bit of a miracle? Yeah. But it's also about the oneness of all things. So why is it important to connect that piece of we are here when the ancestors are here? I don't know, once I said that, you guys kind of fill the room, just kind of fill up. They're like, yes, they know we're here. We are here is also the ancestors saying we are here. They're always here. They just pick certain planetary times to be here more fully. Because our ancestors are still tied to those earthly human experiences until they're completely freed. And whatever they haven't cleared, we're carrying. Anybody notice the themes and patterns? Come back to that in a moment. But the moment we can recognize that in the presence without judgment, evaluation, the sins of the fathers, I really truly believe that's what that means. Whatever we haven't cleared up, what our parents and ancestors have not been able to clear up or transform, we carry. Psychologists have known this now for like 20, 30 years. They think this is really old science. They've known that if you take a family genealogy, you're going to discover similar patterns of marriage, parenting, relationship, divorce. And they draw out this really cool diagram and you can see it. So there's evidence even in current day. But what we're really talking about are those patterns that are carried through, and each and every one of us have the opportunity in the present to release and transform. And when we do, it releases it 12 generations down and forever, and up to 64 generations up. Think about that. And that is the beauty of being present in certain moments and being aware and being okay with being aware. So if we take a moment, and let's do that. Let's close our eyes. And since the ancestors are all here, and you're going to feel a little pressure between your forehead, in your forehead, between your eyebrows. And if you don't feel that, you will. Whatever is working through me is going to come around and help you. Firmly plant your feet and call in gently into your hearts your ancestors. And you will instantly be shown some patterns in your life. You know, the things that you've tried to change and just keep coming back. Just let that move through your body, move into your third eye. You can feel it coming in through your crown, the energies. And bless those energies. Say a prayer to the divine, however you call the divine. Dear God, Goddess, Source, release the pain, release the sins, release the difficulties and the spirits of my ancestors and send them closer to the light. I forgive you and all of you for any of those things that I have had to still carry this life. Because in that forgiveness, I know that you will be freed and you will bless me in return and my children and their children. I forgive you, I release you. May the divine forgive and release all things and send you closer to the divine light in dance and in joy. Pray the same for me. Bless the same for me. Now bring in white light from your crown. Let it just wash through you gently. As it bathes any remnants or residue out your fingertips, out the bottoms of your feet. As your heart opens and you feel the miracle of the ancestors around you, because they also bring the gifts, your strength, your resilience. All right, when you're ready, open your eyes. How'd that feel? Got an oh yeah from Johnny. Anybody notice that? Feel that? Hands? Yeah? It's really freeing, isn't it? One of my students, Marquita Smith, this is the work that she's been doing. She wrote a book called P.S. Pray the Same for Me. You can Google it, whatever, but there are little prayers in there to help with this process. What we are trying to release, many of you released just now, what we're trying to release are those patterns that have come from forever, but what's really also beautiful are those gifts. I was at a graduation in Boston in the spring, and there was a woman whose mother had escaped the camps from Auschwitz at the age of 3. And she actually had this little picture that she'd blown up and put on the screen because it was graduation, right? Of her mother and her mother's brother getting off the boat, Ellis Island, being held by the hand from a stranger. And they had come on this boat because they lost everybody. They had brother and sister, 3 and 5. There was not a dry eye in the house, by the way, you can imagine. And she talked about how this woman grew up in an orphanage, lost everybody to the camps, and at the age of 3 lands in this country and ended up doing these huge things for, I don't want to get it wrong, United Way, I think? Took that pain and turned it around to give back. And that keeps popping into my head today for some reason, because that's where the strength of our ancestors. So she has that story. She has, the camp story. But she has the resilience story that runs in her veins as well. So as much as we carry of our ancestors of those things that cause us difficulty, financial things, if we look back, are typically ancestral. Relationship, health. As much as those are the key factors that make life joyful, and we're going to come back and make life joyful, we also have the resilience. We're here, right? We are here. Here I am. I am here. Here I am. Think about that. How are we, really, how does anybody survive life? Ever think about that? It's crazy, right? That we actually live to old age. Those are the blessings, the resilience of being one with Source. One with those that came before us, and not just in the blueprint genealogy and the DNA, but of the world. So once we can fully really get that in our hearts and our being, we can claim the resilience, really expand on that. And in these prayers and in these knowings of the patterns, we can let them go. We can let them go how? By getting unstuck. Now, I know I'm not the only one in this room that goes on in their head with, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me again. I can't believe it. Am I really the only one? Thank you. Truth, right? Authentic truth will set us free. When we're doing that, it's our job to be aware. It's so easy. Like, our minds are wired. Our minds are wired to constantly ruminate and spin on these things that have been painful. It's wired. We are here to change that. The strangest thing, our job is to be given this kind of brain body carrying the ancestral DNA, and then our job is to transform it and get the little teeny part of the brain, the pineal gland, to wake up and override everything else. All right, I did not design this at all, but this is our job, this is our task. Our task is that knowing, by taking the resilience of our ancestors, by knowing that that spin in our brain is not our fault, that we're wired that way. Like, someday that will rewire, but we needed that for evolutionary purposes. Don't go there, you'll die. Don't go there, you'll die. But we don't live that way anymore. So we have the luxury of, without having to go to a monastery, so to speak, to change that here. How? Be present. I know, it sounds like a meme, right? Be present. But how do we do that? We do that by being aware. Catch it. If you're going to spin 15 times on one thing, stop it at 2 or 3. And the minute we stop it, what do? Well, I am here in truth. That can set a vibration going. We can say, Om. I've been practicing with this one. I have 3 people, 3 different socioeconomic status. One's the CEO, I don't know, $500 million company. The other is a teacher. And, oh God, what does she do? Oh, there's both teachers. One's a kindergarten teacher and one's a male math teacher. Everybody has their own spin. Oh my God, I'm going to lose my company and all these people are going to, whatever it may be. From our past. The goal They catch themselves when they're spinning on the same pattern and start saying Om instead. That's it. So 3 times Om, opening the throat. Each one reported starting off with, oh, I didn't remember, I only did it once. Shoot, it's been 5 days, right? Because the spin wins. Don't forget, the spin wins all the time until we take charge, right? So it's about 5 months. Miraculous things are happening. Why? Because the spin stops, so it's not making new tracks. Have to get present to chant, and it doesn't matter what vibrational way you pick. We are using Om. And as soon as the body-mind is in that vibration, it transcends space-time continuum. It's a vibration and a frequency in the body, which kicks out the negative, opens the pineal gland, opens the heart, and brings joy. Okay, that's a lot of words. Let's try it. Close your eyes. Find your number one thing, the one that's woke you up this morning. Very first negative, spinny, yeah, okay, everybody's got it. You don't need my direction there, okay. Now just let that spin, and on the third one, once, twice, we're going to put energy into our throat. Ready? All together. Om. Again. Om. One more time. Be still. Feel that. Note what is happening. Is anybody a little trembly? Yeah. Does anyone feel their heart maybe beating a little faster? Or more still? And you get the gold star if you don't remember what the spin was. Right? Okay, you want to try that again? That felt really good, didn't it? Okay, same spin or a different one? If that one isn't gone, do that one. If you've eradicated that one for the day, grab a new one. All right. Think about it once, twice, 3 times, and then with me, in your throat, we will eradicate it, change our vibration to Om. Again. Om. One more time. Stay in this vibration. When the third eye is open, the frontal lobe can't work. When the third eye is open, the pineal gland, the stories disappear. When the pineal gland is open, everything changes in color and depth. So when you open your eyes, note the difference in how you see everything around you. So go ahead and open your eyes. See how I'm just 15 years younger all of a sudden? The blues are brighter, the purples are brighter. You got that. The colors are brighter. Do you see it? Does everybody note that? Okay, good, yeah. Anybody not? Because the angels will come and tap your third eye if you need some help. Remember that. Isn't that a goal to look forward to? It's like when we're in love. You know that first in love? You guys, anybody remember that? when everything's so bright and beautiful, and all of a sudden chocolate's like the most fabulous flavor ever, and why is the water so crisp? And oh, I put my keys in the freezer. You know that not present little craziness that happens within love? That's what happens when our pineal gland opens. The good news is our pineal gland will not break our heart, right? It's okay to have heartbreak. We're alive when we feel everything. So we are here. I am here in truth. We are here as one. When we are unstuck, everybody is unstuck, and we can expect miracles. We have stopped expecting miracles, or we think the miracles have to be this huge lottery win. Those are great. Have not had one yet. But truly the miracles, what brings us the greatest joy is to look for the small thing. Okay, I think this was a big one, my mother being here during Mahalaya. It's awesome, right? She's so amazing. This woman came to this country at 17, taught herself English, how to read and write, taught herself yoga, the arts museum, the opera. She learned it all. She said she had to learn it all. Had the first iPad ever. She's like the Facebook queen. This kind of resilience that lives in our souls and our beings can only happen if we stop and look. So that's a big miracle, but what about the small miracles? Like I put birdseed out and the birds actually came for a minute, you know? And they're beautiful. Why do I forget that? Because my head's spinning that, I don't know, I'm 10 pounds up, or, you know, somebody hurt my feelings. Those are really big things. But do they need to own us? Because when we get stuck in the being owned by them, remember, everything's connected. John and I received the same message. Now, 20 years ago, I would have said, what are you doing in my notes? Ego is a funny thing. When we put the ego down, and what is ego? It's not just arrogance. By the way, it turns out we're all really arrogant. Let's just own it. We're all really arrogant because the moment we have judgment, we're arrogant. Somehow we're better. No, we're not. We're not. Because a 3-year-old can get on a boat with a stranger, come all the way across, like, I don't know, what was this, in the 40s, and become one of the leaders. I think it was United Way. I don't want to lie. That's not arrogance. That's resilience. Let's not confuse them. So when we are being present in the I am here, and we are all together, then we get it. We are here for one thing and one thing only, to bring heaven on earth into our spirit. What does that mean? To have joys, to have miracles, to know that I am one with each and every one of you. I don't have to like you. I probably don't like that in me either. It's okay, I just don't have to judge it. Because if we're all here for the same thing, to transform the past stories, we're all here for the growth of our soul, so that the rest of the world and our children's 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 children don't have to suffer what we did, so that we can stop the suffering and bring heaven on earth. All of us, we have the same job. And we all do it with the way that inspires us. So by being in the we are here, I am here, by oming instead of bitching. Did she say that out loud? So oming instead of ranting, oming instead of ranting, oming instead of spinning, can bring literally a vibrational beginning to heaven on earth. Because heaven on earth is what? It's the experience of joy. It's this experience of not, for a split second even, forgetting all of it. That's all it takes. We get one split second, we can have two. We can have 4, 8, 16. That's how it works, right? That whole exponential thing. We just need the first one. Did anybody have a little bit of that here today? Yeah? Thank you. Don't say as if you didn't mean it. So literally think about it. Stop talking, stop ranting, and start oming. Do you think we can do that? Anybody want to commit to doing that? I would love an email or a Facebook message or whatever, let me know. No, I would love to hear from you. Because the more people that respond, the more people that have benefit, the more that I can say, 500 people just did this and da-da-da, right? We love evidence. The monkey mind loves the evidence. So give me feedback. All right, quick last meditation. Let's close our eyes. I am here, I am here, I am here. We are all here to do the same thing. We are all here to elevate our souls, transform the past, bless our ancestors, be grateful for whom we came from, good and bad. Every single one of us here to do the same thing. Now feel that build up in your heart like a ball. Now take that ball, look at it and fully get that's why we're here. And now just release it in a huge gratitude. Feel your throat open, your jaw release. Feel the vibration that is so powerful here today. I am grateful to be the vessel for all of us today. Hariam Sat Chat for all of you. And let's wrap with a final Om 3 times, deep, deep, deep in our being. Om.